I know water's getting up under here. That's just spongy there. I know the decking is damaged right here. Right here, they've actually chewed a hole into the house. We're here in Barton Hills area, just taking a look at the roof. We don't think there was enough storm damage to necessarily warrant filing a claim, but we're still going to take a look. The roof is a few years old, and so we're going to look for those things that need to be, that need regular maintenance. Like once we get onto the roof, we always document everything when we're at a property. So we're looking at the downspouts. There's a couple of little shots of hail damage on the downspout, but not much. It could be mechanical, in fact. One little spot right there. But just kind of taking a look. It's a recently remodeled house. It looks like it's been well maintained, and we'll let the homeowner know what we find out. Just a little bit of splatter, a few spots. Not bad. Obviously, it'd be something that if there was enough to warrant filing a claim, we would want insurance to make sure they get it documented so that insurance could pay to have this restained. I'm looking for any area where the caulk here along this wood has given up. It all looks to be, again, well maintained and in pretty good shape. One thing they may want to do is this area right down here, actually. I probably would recommend for the homeowner that they go ahead and reseal this wood. You can just tell it's gotten more moisture to it than the rest of it, and it will start to absorb water. Kind of see where water's absorbing it. It's dark there, so I would recommend resealing that, just as a preventative measure. Restaining it, I should say. Again, we've talked about this in other videos. We don't chalk on a first visit. And the reason being is if we found one hail hit here, there's not hail hit there, but if we found one and we chalk it, then if insurance was to get, a claim was to be filed, the insurance adjuster may not use it. So we use light to help us see if there's any damage on the gutters. So we can take a picture of it, it's documented then, and we can let insurance and the homeowner know. There's a gutter screen on there, but there's quite a bit of buildup in that. We will want to take a look at that to see, is water draining off it appropriately, or is it backing up into the roof? That's actually a metal gutter guard. So the water flows over the top of that, and debris is supposed to flush off the top, but it's starting to get in there, so it might be something he wants to take a look at. So the question on this is, what's causing it? It could be backup from the gutter, or water's pushing back up underneath the shingles because the gutter's not flushing correctly. It could be something further up the roof, so we'll see if we can't figure out what's going on there. Mechanical damage. Yeah. So insurance is going to see something like that where it's a straight line, and that is a good indication it's mechanical, not hail. That is from, looks like animal. We'll take a look at that too when we get on the roof, see if there's something else going on. A little bit of splatter on this wall right here. Oh, like here, the sealant is starting to come out. Water's going to run in there. It's going to start getting into this wood. So simple fix, simple home maintenance item that he can take care of. Real easy to prevent future issues. Okay, so one thing we noticed here is we had some decent rain, and as you can see here on the fence, you can see where the water level got up to here in this area, and all that built up, and so that material and all that dirt is getting into his coils of his AC unit, and it's going to make it run less efficiently. So you see all the build up there? It's just caked with dirt. So his energy bill is going up as a result. So this gutter guard is sitting too high, so water is coming out and then settling back in, running right back into here and rotting out that wood. And my guess is it's all a little, like right there, it's a little too flat too. Those things are too high. That guard is too high. This may be the only area, well, that area on the other side may need to be fixed too, but my recommendation would be to get that in there so that that slopes down versus back into the house. And then obviously that fascia board really needs to be replaced. At a minimum, I would want to replace this trim. It's super soft right here. So there is no drip edge. So he said the roof was replaced just a few years ago, meaning it wasn't replaced to code. So he's got issues with squirrels on some of the fascia, digging at some of the fascia. So my recommendation would be to have these trees cut 6 foot off the roof. It's almost touching in several areas. Right here, which, you know, another spring and those branches are going to be rubbing here and they're going to rub a hole in these shingles. That would be my first thing, and I would say, Mr. Homeowner, you really should consider getting the trees trimmed back some. This is just a highway for animals to get into your attic and onto your roof. And we know that they are because right down here, if you look on the fascia or on the sidewall right here, they've actually chewed a hole into the house. Here, let me see that. And maybe we're capturing it on the video, I'm not sure, but there's a hole down there. So that's where an animal has chewed itself a hole to get into the attic. See it there? Right there. So the other thing I noticed is we either have too much heat in this attic or something else is causing the granulars to give way. It looks fairly new in areas and looks like it's started to wear maybe prematurely in others. So this is probably where an animal, a rodent, or a squirrel's been chewing on this. They like lead poisoning for some reason. Same thing down here. And I guess it chewed away at some of that shingle too. Interesting. Yeah, so when we talk about sealing up a roof, this is the one of the things that needs regular maintenance. So that had silicone on it, you could see, but it's just over time wore out. Maybe the tree rubbed it a little bit, I don't know, but sun breaks down silicone, it becomes brittle and then it breaks off. And so that nail is rusty because water is getting to it and getting through it. See, I think it's the same thing here. That water's going down the roof and some of it's sliding back in underneath the shingle and damaging that corner. That's what it looks like. Something's going on here. Like this flashing is completely rusted, so whoever replaced this did not bother to replace this flashing even though it's rusted. And just from the way that it's rusting tells me something's not right there. This kickout flashing is just acting as a dam right now. It's not doing, it should be more angled. It doesn't need to be that long. It's just a wall right there where it allows debris to catch it and water to back up, and that needs to be changed. I don't like how this is done here either. So they wrap this back up underneath. It might be overlapping enough. It really should be overlapping more than it's only overlapping about that much. So it's another thing I would address. Yeah, it's probably time for a new cricket. There's just quite a bit of rust starting to show. They just capped and sealed that. I would recommend this being one solid piece. It's not terrible, but and again on this side, that kickout flashing is not acting as kickout flashing, it's just acting as a barrier. And here we go. So I know water's getting up under here. So we've got an area here where that's just spongy there. I know the decking is damaged right here. I'm not gonna pull any more away, but it is definitely something the homeowner needs to address sooner rather than later. I would recommend redoing all this flashing. And it's that dadgum kickout that caused this hole. Another thing people don't think about on the roof is the chimney cap where it's mortared like this. This one looks like it's sloughing water off okay. But a lot of times these things start to get cracks in them where water can sit, and eventually just eats away at the mortar and you get a hole in the chimney. So here's a roof that got hail on it last week. There's no visible signs of hail damage to the roof itself. Maybe a couple right here. But there definitely is some maintenance work on this roof that, as a homeowner, I would want to get done before these small issues become bigger issues and end up costing me more money down the road. That nail right there, it's caulked, but that is not where that nail should be, not on the very edge of that flashing. I'll run the calculations as well to determine whether or not 5 roof vents, 5 slant backs is removing enough heat from the attic. I mean, ventilation companies would tell you shouldn't mix types of ventilation. So this house came with gabled ends. The roofer that did this last put in some roof vents. That could be causing the air not to circulate correctly. The gabled ends, truthfully, should be enough airflow through. This house really doesn't have true intake. If I was to rebuild the house, if I was to do this roof from scratch, I would probably cap those off. I would put some eave vents in and then either do ridge vent or do solar attic fan, just to make sure we're pulling enough air out of the attic to properly ventilate it. I think he definitely needs to do something about these ridge cap shingles before too long. We're worn down all the way to the shingle below there. The fiberglass is complete, I'm really touching the shingle below it. But the rest of the house has some years left in the shingle. One of the things I feel like is our duty is to just inform homeowners, help them understand what's going on with their roof, help them understand what they can do from a preventative maintenance perspective to help extend the life of their roof. In the case of what we've seen so far here today, I'm not finding new damage on this roof that would say, hey, this warrants you filing a property claim with your insurance. A good, honest roofer is going to tell you that. We're instead out here, we're going to provide this homeowner with some suggestions of things they can do to help extend the life of their roof and also deal with some immediate pressing issues that don't pertain to replacing the entire roof. If you are interested in having your roof looked at or inspected, we're happy to come out and do that. You can give us a call at 737-773-3625 or visit us at www.redoakatx.com. Thank you and have a good day.